All right, everybody, welcome back to the Saucecast with Novelty, and today we have A-ARON. We're going to be talking about one interesting topic. What happens to celebrities when they so-called die, or do they just go off the grid? What do you think, Aaron? And I'll let you...
Hey, what's up, everybody? That's always been one of my favorite topics of all time. Just kind of celebrities that go off the grid, or in other words, quote unquote, die. But are they? But the question is, are they really dead? Is what I've always wanted to know, or are they just dead to us?
Right.
You know. I think my biggest question on that was always Tupac, you know what I mean? It's like, yes, people always say, yes, he was shot and stuff and all this, but it's like, do you know, and people always say, like, well, if he's still alive, then why don't we see him anymore? You got to realize how big the world is, man. Like, we've, what is it, like 10% of the earth we've traveled or something like that? Probably less than that, honestly. So it's like the earth is a big freaking place, you know, and so, you know, just because we don't see him doesn't mean I still believe he's still off the grid somewhere making music, in my opinion.
Sure. And, you know, nothing would surprise me nowadays about the facts that NASA gives us and you know, whatever, they tell us, like, the earth is like this big, and it's like, who knows? Has anyone ever measured it themselves?
Right. Exactly.
So you're just going to believe this, you know, agency, government corporation that makes a shitload of money off all of us from our taxes when we go to work and shit. So you're just going to believe them and be like, oh yeah, that's NASA. So you can't question that. It's NASA.
Exactly. And I'm going to be honest, man, if I was a celebrity or something, if I was like, say, Elvis back in the day and I never had a moment to myself, couldn't even look out, you know, he couldn't even look out his bedroom window without somebody, like, you know, trying to get on his property and get a piece of him, like get a piece of his clothes or something, because people are crazy about him. So I'll be honest, if I was in his position, I would have probably faked my own death. I'd have been like, you know what? I'm tired of never getting time to myself, always having to be on the road, you know, never getting to see my family and stuff like that. So there'd be that little fantasy in the back of my mind. I just want to disappear for sure. Yeah.
And it's like, you know, when you're in the spotlight like that all the time and you're famous, it's like, of course, you're going to get stressed out. And, well, maybe they offered me a deal for this many years, and after that, it's like, I'm done. But I don't want to, like, have people, you know, because then I'm going to have to, like, go on to a new record label and all this shit.
Exactly.
Maybe just lie that I died, and then I'll just go out. We have wherever. We'll relocate you here. And we'll put on the internet that you died, but you know, you're still, you know, you're just out of your shit that you don't want to do anymore.
And I mean, hell, you know, when they're quote unquote off the grid, they could just be living in another country. Like, you can't tell me Tupac and Elvis, or Elvis probably, but you can't, because, you know, he was like super duper super famous. He was like known worldwide when he was famous. But you can't tell me people that live in like Belgium and Germany, or you can't tell me somebody that lives in like Vietnam knows not everybody who lives in Vietnam knows who Tupac is. You know what I mean? So he could just be living in another country just as a resident, you know, and as far as they know, you know, he's just a guy from America or something.
Sure. And as time goes on, people forget about these people because there's new generations where they're like a Justin Bieber fan. They don't know who fucking Tupac is. Like, he could just be like, all right, none of these younger generations are going to remember me anyways. Can I just get out of this? And, you know, I'll just be dead to, you know. So when people Google me, they see I'm dead. So it's like, oh my God, he's so good. But yet I'm going to release a song with me on it like 2 years later. Right. Like, and that's the thing they're doing with like Juice WRLD and Lil Peep. They're releasing these songs later on. And it's like, oh, are they really dead?
Right.
I don't know.
Exactly, man. It's like I said, and I'm pretty sure everybody could agree with this, that we all like our downtime. We all just like our time where we can just unload, you know, have a drink or have a smoke, whatever you do to calm yourself down. You know, we all just got to decompress at the end of the day. And when you're decompressing, is a bunch of cameras and stuff and media and like paparazzi in your face, like, oh, you know, Mr. Presley or this or that, or Mr. Tupac or something like that, or it's like I said, that would drive anybody nuts. It's definitely not a life for everybody. And after a while, I think it's not a life for people who are even experienced with it. It's just, so I really just think that they're just living their best, they're probably like living their best life right now if they're still alive, which I believe a lot of people who quote unquote died in the last like 20, 30 years are still alive.
Yeah, sure. Like it's like you're on the road all the time. You're making shitload of money. You're getting like, you're doing hella drugs and getting pussy every night. And it's like, of course you're going to want to just take a break from it. But like, I don't know, maybe they broke their contract and they're, whatever. And they're like, I don't know why they lie about celebrities dying. I honestly don't know. But I'm guessing it's something that where their contract was kind of breached. And the people who do go off there's a lot of people who do it the smart way and they just, quit rapping or quit doing music or whatever it is, celebrities, but they, excuse me, I gotta cut that out later. But yeah, like, I don't know, like there's certain celebrities that just do it the smart way and they're not so-called dead on Google, but they get out of it and now they're living their best life. Like, I don't blame them.
I know one of the biggest reasons, well, the biggest theory on that is they're not really dead. The one that comes to my mind at all times is always Elvis, because when before he died, he was heavy, he had long hair, he was very overweight and stuff like that, and he was very, he just didn't look like how he did. He literally aged 20 years in 10 years, and the weird thing was at his actual funeral, in his casket, everybody believes was actually not him. It was actually just a wax figure. It looked just like him because he looked totally young again. He was like all thin again. He had, and granted, they could have just, a lot of people say they could have just made him look nice for his funeral. It's like, well, yeah, but you can't just, you're not just going to make somebody drop weight like that and make him look all young again. Just, I don't care how good they have a job.
I don't care how good the sex dolls are nowadays. You can't make someone look like a genuine human being out of his, that, I know they're good at it nowadays. You ever hear of these sex dolls you can buy now where it's just I saw this ad on Instagram or something. I think it was on like Funny Hood Vids. And it was just, the first thing you see is just a sex doll face. And like, it's a woman talking and she starts shoving her thumb in the doll's mouth. Oh my God. And then next it cuts to a box on the kitchen floor with a sex doll in there, and she pulls her out and it just says, "Hi, my name is Sex Doll 9011." Like right away, like
oh my gosh. And the strange thing, and one of the big things one of the big reasons I believe Tupac is still around, is still alive, is because I saw this YouTube video one time about this Bus Invaders episode, and it was an episode where it doesn't appear on YouTube. You have to actually like kind of go into it and search for it, and it won't like pop up unless you type exactly what the video says, pretty much, and what the thumbnail is and stuff. And the guy looks just like Tupac, dude, and it's like he's got like kind of longer hair now and stuff. He sounds just like him. And, and who knows if it's really him or not, but it definitely, raises the suspicions for sure. And, it's just, I've been hearing he's released albums, since he's in the last few years. Like you said, they're releasing music, later on, years after they die. And you're thinking, what's the actual reason for that? Are they saying these are, these are songs you just never heard before? Or are they songs that were just made,
Exactly. So. And it's like, every time, like, they do this all the time where it's foreshadowed even in their music where they're saying, I'm only going to live to, I forget what Juice WRLD said, but he said, like, I can only live to, like, a certain age. And sure enough, he died before even what he said. And it's like, the way he died, it was like, he got caught with drugs on a plane and took them all on, I don't know.
I forget what his quote is. It's like, he said a famous quote once, and he said, and of course, quotes become more famous after somebody passes away.
Sure.
But he said, like, I forget exactly what the quote was. I'd have to look it up, but it was basically like your soul or your body dies, but your spirit is forever, or something like that. It was like something like that. It's like how you live is temporary, but what you do in life is forever. You know, you can like always leave a lasting impact.
You can always leave it last. And, you know, honestly, if you're a good person in this day and age, because we live in a fucking evil, fucked up, cold world right now, we have things like the Whatever podcast. You ever watch that? The Whatever podcast?
I can't say I've heard it off the top of my head.
But
whatever.
They're trying to destroy the, divine union between a man and a woman. And, it's a never-changing panel of OnlyFans models interviewing guys like Andrew Tate and all these fake celebrities. I mean, they're all paid off. They're celebrities. That's my new term. Celebrities. And, it's just like, if you really get off on this stuff, you're just promoting the toxicity even more.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. I mean, frickin', like, even somebody like Whitney Houston, I've even thought that her death wasn't even real, believe it or not. Like, anybody, the media will tell you whatever the media will tell you whatever they're told, Sure. And so, I've even thought about that. She could even be somewhere else. I don't know. I've always thought it'd be kind of funny if like all the quote unquote dead celebrities of our era or even era before us were, they're quote unquote dead, but they all got together and just made like a song or something like that. That'd be just like, so I don't know. That's something that would be sick in my opinion.
There's literally an animation of like a cartoon of like a bunch of dead rappers sitting in a studio, like doing a song together.
Mm-hmm. Holy God. Is it really? I gotta look that up for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I mean, freaking, we could go on and on all day about this. Is we could also talk about something like, I don't know. What do you like? Is there anything else that sticks to your mind that?
Well, how Jared from Subway, do you think he got fucked over, or do you think he was a good man? He helped a lot of people.
Yeah, he did, man. I don't know though. It's like all these people. It seems like it's happening a lot these days. A lot of these people we viewed like it. Like with, I know this was a few years ago, but with the Lance Armstrong incident, he was like a superhero to us. Like he had all this. He had all this stuff going on with him. He was sick and stuff, but he beat cancer and won the tournament 5 times in a row. But he was actually cheating. So it's like we look at him a totally different way now. I don't know. It's crazy. So.
Well, that's the thing they do is they take someone who is like a public figure and like a household name and a hero and in the average family, where they're like, this guy, he was really fat and then he lost a bunch of weight eating sandwiches, and now he got arrested for what'd they say, like
I think it was something. I think it had something to do I think it was like, wasn't it? If I'm not mistaken, wasn't it like touching people and stuff? Wasn't it like
it was something about children?
I think it was like
I'll just set this up here because at this point,
yeah.
So
we were gonna do that.
We're gonna pass the phone back and forth, but now it's just like fuck it, just keep it in the middle. So he fucking got in trouble for something with children, and then I don't know. I mean. Who knows if it's even real?
I think it had to do with molestation, if I'm not mistaken. But I don't.
Oh, that was a good line. Molestation, if I'm not mistaken.
God dang.
I'm coming through when I'm waking bacon. Where's the bacon?
I'm gonna add that to one of my future albums. It was molestation, if I'm not mistaken.
It's A-ARON.
Yeah. But yeah, it's, I don't know. It's like, but I think if you get a big enough name, I think there's always going to be somebody who's going to try and make you look like a bad guy. Sure, you know what I mean? Sure. Like there's always any celebrity you ever hear of, it doesn't matter how successful they are, you're always going to like hear of the dark side of so and so.
I would go even further than that. Not even just celebrities, everyday life.
Yes,
people make people
exactly
look bad. So that's our society, I guess. I mean, not all people, but there's a lot of bad people out there that just kind of.
So the messed up thing is, it's a lot of these accusations are very difficult to prove. Like it's very difficult to prove, but at the same time, it's like you can't just take somebody's word for it to be in as well, you know.
Exactly.
So I don't know, man. I personally think Jared just got kind of screwed over.
Oh, of course. I mean, who knows if that guy's maybe he's off the grid. Who knows if he's even in prison?
That could be, yeah.
You know, like he's like, I'm sick of doing the Subway commercials. Mm-hmm. And they're like, all right, sir, we're going to move you to out in the woods in Canada, and you're free of your duties.
Yes. You also got to think maybe that's why some people do disappear off the grid because of all these accusations of them and stuff. They're probably thinking, well, people are never going to look at me the same now, so, you know. Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
I'll have the people that'll still remain, like, that'll still be my fan, that'll still support me and stuff, but I'll always have those haters that'll always, like, you know, just make me feel like a terrible person, like a piece of shit, basically. So
and maybe one day I'll be good enough to make a statue out of fish bones that has the 1985 Bears quarterback that is reminiscing on winning a championship.
Hey. Next year is Chicago's year. We had like the worst record in the NFL. But this year we had like the worst record in the whole NFL. We got all the good draft picks.
They say that every year.
Everybody listening, mark my words. I am predicting that in the next 2 seasons, the Bears will be in the playoffs. That's my prediction.
Mark A-ARON's words.
Yes. If I'll even give my freaking phone number. You can call me and tell me I was full of crap if they don't.
In the next 2 years, you said?
Yes.
All right. So everybody.
So if in the next 2 years they don't go to the playoffs, call now and say, Aaron, you're full of shit. The Bears still suck. And I'll say, yeah, you're right, but
I'm just gonna export that as a separate clip for like people who want to pay.
Right.
People, if you want to know Aaron's phone number, Cashapp us $5.
See, this is the problem when I have a few beers in me. I just give some unwanted information sometimes.
That's why we're gonna profit off.
Right.
I'm gonna keep this only exclusive.
Yeah.
For
all right. Cool.
People who want to learn, like get to
people
know
who want to really get in. Yeah.
We can give you our numbers or whatever, but we're on Cash App. We'll put the links in the description.
Yes.
If you want the more exclusive talk, this is just for the air.
But mark my words, 85 Bears are the next 85 Bears is either going to be the 2023 or 2024 Bears. Mark my words.
All right.
I'm making that almost a guarantee because it seems like that happens. The reason I'm saying that, it seems like it happens with every team. It seems like one year they'll have a totally mediocre year, like the Giants, like they haven't had a good year in how long, and they
back when Eli Manning,
right? Well,
when that guy magically caught the pass on his helmet,
right? Yeah. Well, I'm just saying it just seems like a lot of these teams will finish like say, 3-13, or however many games there are.
It doesn't matter as long as you make the playoffs.
Right. But it seems like a lot of teams that have a losing record will go back and like make a Super Bowl run. So
it's like sometimes like even. For a perfect example, you have Tom Brady. Mm-hmm. The Buccaneers finished 8-9 for the regular season. They still get the wild card. Mm-hmm. They still win the division at 8-9.
Yeah,
like, you can't.
And I mean, like it's all on who you got to be willing to pay the money to get the players. That's the Packers' problem. It's like Tom Brady went to the Buccaneers. They've won one Super Bowl in their whole franchise prior to him joining. They haven't had a playoff year in years. And he gets in. He says, "I got the money. We got the money. Give me the team." And first year, he wins the Super Bowl.
And then
for them.
Bruce Arians retires after winning the Super Bowl, so he has a whole new coach, and he still wins the division. It's like I don't know. It just seems kind of rigged to me.
Oh, dude! Absolutely.
I mean, if you really, I love it because it's betting. Like it's still entertaining to watch. Mm-hmm. And like once you start realizing how rigged it is,
especially Super Bowls, dude, because everybody got screwed over who betted on the Super Bowl. I bet you like 80% of those people got screwed over because everybody probably bet on the Eagles. I would have. I didn't bet, but I would have bet on the Eagles. I thought I was like 95% sure the Eagles were going to. I was like, nah,
they did that fucking commercial at, or it was like a special video that they put out, and it was like, it was all the Eagles' last 3 quarterbacks. Mm-hmm. It was Donovan McNabb, Jalen Hurts, and who was the other guy?
Michael Vick.
They were all sitting on the whatever that building, the Liberty Bell. Mm-hmm. they were sitting in the government stairs. They were on the stone stairs. They were like all talking about like whatever, and it was like, okay, there's programming here for like the Eagles to win, but I don't know. And then, you know, honestly, at that point, I was like, I got to bet on the Eagles. So at that point, maybe they did program people to bet on at that point because they're trying to fuck with people's heads. Because they're like, okay, if you fucking watch this commercial, you will bet on the Eagles, and then, oh, too bad, Chiefs won.
Yup.
And it's like, you
so
know,
in that situation, it's like, do I go for the team that everybody's going for, or is it too good to be true? And you know, it's too good to be true that everybody's going to win big like that. So it's like, or do I just go against the grain? You know. But in those situations, it's like that happens so often now. The next Super Bowl that, you know, if I ever were to bet on a Super Bowl, the underdog, I would honestly feel like voting for the underdog because I feel like, I don't know, I mean,
yeah.
You know, it's like you said, I feel like it's rigged.
It's kind of a 50-50 chance.
Right.
Because sometimes they're like, a lot of people bet on the underdog, and then all of a sudden it's like, no, they got their asses kicked.
Right.
Like, so you got to be in the moment, I guess, to bet, because don't wait. Like, I would say bet in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
When you can kind of see how the narrative is going.
Oh, absolutely.
Don't bet at the very beginning.
Right.
Because
exactly.
you don't know what's going to happen. They're going to change. They're going to change it up every fucking play.
I mean, the Carolina and Denver game was living proof of that.
Oh yeah, at
Super
one
Bowl
moment
50.
that one person could be paid. They'd be like, "We'll pay you like $1 million if you just pretend to fumble the ball."
Oh yeah,
and especially in the Super Bowl.
Fumble the ball, and then literally have full access to get the ball back, and then step back from it.
Right, like Cam Newton in Denver Broncos.
Yeah, that's literally what he did.
Yeah, he when you fumble the ball, your first instinct isn't to step away.
Right.
When you fumble the ball, you're supposed
Your first instinct
is to dive on it. And he stepped away like a bitch, and it was like, you know, like, is that real, or were they just like, this is part of, you got to do this, like, because what grown man would do that?
It's one of those things where it's like they want to prove to us we don't know shit.
It's just like a laugh. It's like a slap in the face.
It really is.
It's like, you know, especially if you bet on, like, you know, how much points Cam Newton was going to get, or if the Panthers won that Super Bowl, and then he does that shit, and then that's all by design. So that's why you need to watch the whole narrative of every game before you bet.
Exactly.
Bet in the fourth quarter. That's what I've always said.
That's a good strategy. Is that even allowed to bet in the fourth quarter, or do you have to place your bets before
There's
the game?
ways you can do it now.
Okay. See, because if I was gonna guess, I would think that they would be like, no, you have to place your bets before kickoff or something like that. If I were to guess,
there's ways you can get out of that.
Sure.
I'm sure there's loopholes to everything. So
exactly, there really is.
Because the whole game is basically fake.
Oh
so,
yeah.
Like and like maybe for some people they don't let them place their bets, you know, till the fourth quarter. But I bet you certain people a lot are given access to that somehow. I don't know how. Something
that's been on my mind for a long time. I don't know if you want to talk a little bit about this.
Sure.
Is the NFL getting super, like, the NFL is just so soft these days.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Like, I mean, it's even getting to the point where in the NFL video games where if you even touch the quarterback after he gets rid of the ball, it's called roughing the passer. It's like they're getting very hasty with stuff like that.
Well, they designed it. When I was a kid, I played NFL Blitz, where you, after the play's even over, after the referee calls the whistle, you're still allowed to just, like, body slam a guy.
Yeah.
And, like, nowadays, it's like, if you even touch the quarterback, you get, you know, whatever. So, it's like, you know, I don't know, like, they're saying, like, oh, you know, remember back in the day, people had the decency to not, you know, don't be too brutal. Obviously, if you're going to lead in with your helmet, don't fucking hit him in the head and like, knock him out.
Exactly.
You know, but, like, I don't know, nowadays it's like it got brutal to the point where people were doing that on purpose.
Exactly. And don't get me and don't get me wrong. I'm all for if a quarterback has the ball and he's rushing and he's clearly going to go he's clearly stepping out of bounds. I do think you should get a penalty if you hit him with all you got when you clearly see he's going out of bounds. I think that should be unnecessary roughness. But it's like, you know, when it's like when there's a big when there's a big linebacker coming for when there's a big 250-pound linebacker coming for a 170-pound quarterback, and he just gets rid of the ball when the frickin' when the linebacker is like fucking 2 feet away from the guy, it's like you're not going to be able to stop all that momentum.
Yeah, I understand that. I know there's accidents that happen. If you're trying to be brutal, it's a big rival game where you're like, I want to knock this guy. But like, even then, it's like just be a little bit more careful.
Yes.
Because like there's these quarterbacks that are like previous NFL guys that have been in the NFL that now they have like concussions to the point where. They don't even remember their own name. Yeah. They don't even remember their wife's name.
Yeah. And like I said, I'm all for somebody flagging if you're clearly giving yourself up or you're clearly stepping out of bounds and somebody just like rams you. I'm all for a flag being called for that or something. But, but every time something happens, like when that Aaron Rodgers thing happened, when and obviously I'm not a Packer fan if I'm a Bears fan. You can't be both. That's like being a Red Sox and Yankees fan. You just can't do both.
Yeah.
So I remember that time Rodgers got injured with the Vikings, the second time he broke his collarbone because of Anthony Barr. It's like, yes, I agree, Anthony Barr, that play was a little aggressive. Anthony Barr should not have rushed at him like that, but, I just feel like Rodgers threw a huge bitch fit about that. It's like, come on, man, with all the money you're getting paid, you can get hit once in a while.
It's just the fact that, like, they let him have one Super Bowl, and then after that, it was just,
Yeah, you got to ask yourself why in his, second year he went to the Super Bowl, and pretty much every single year since then, he's gone to the playoffs, but never went back to the Super Bowl.
And all the playoff games that the Packers get into, it's all rigged. It's like, especially when they get deep into the postseason.
Oh, yeah.
And, it's like, I'm just sick of watching it because it's like, I grew up, like, as a kid.
But
I loved watching the Packers. My grandpa put it on all the time.
That's happening with all the NFC North these days, man.
Like I'm starting to realize like this shit is all bullshit. Like I don't need to get too invested. Like there's people that like play fantasy football, and like my team's better than yours.
Oh shit!
Ooh.
At first I thought you were going with the New York accent or something.
No, this is my. My guy on the internet that talks shit on fantasy football.
The guy who that's literally the guy who lives in his mom's basement when he's 35. Jerks off all day and talks shit online. That's the guy. That's that guy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
that's exactly what it is.
He just sits in his basement 24 hours a day, eats and jerks off and fucking just bashes people.
He's gonna be like, Mom, when are you gonna come home and bring me my Diet Pepsi?
Yeah. Mom, I'm kind of hungry. Yeah, shut your bitch ass. I'm going to go out and get a fucking job.
How about go out and get a job and work?
That's right. Hell yeah.
And do you want to live to be a grown man that lives,
yeah.
Your mom's... And, you just want to not, like, go through a lot.
Yeah. I don't...
Just settle down a little bit. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I don't want to, like, overcompensate. I just want to... Yeah. It's like in the GTA 4 video game. Maybe not take over the world, but do okay,
And in a way, you're taking over the world better because you're a person that's not going to do all this crazy shit where you sell out to these fucking demons.
Exactly.
Who make you into a demon and
exactly.
Like all these people who are getting paid hella money and they're popular.
That's another
Snapchat. It's like, well, they're getting paid to be a demon, basically.
That's another big...
sold their soul.
Exactly. That's another big reason I would never turn out like that. I would never sell my soul to Hollywood. As great as that would sound, it's like you'd have all these great things, but it's like because I would rather not be famous than lose my self-respect. Let's put it like that.
Yeah.
Like it's the same reason why I'm still single. I'm not like if I feel like I'm in a relationship where I'm not being respected or something like that, a relationship's a two-way street.
Yeah.
You just gotta be right for each other. One can't be just right for you and you're not right for them, So it's like I said, you just gotta... I'm holding out for the best, or I'm holding out for what I want, because I'm not settling for what I don't, I'm not settling for anything less than the best, if that makes sense.
Right. And that's the thing, it's like, a woman claims she wants a man to be there all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And then as soon as you stop giving her attention, she's like, what are you doing?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Yep. So it's like, either I can be there all the time and you'll get bored of me, or if I just, kind of do my ignore you, you're going to get mad. It's like, so either way you lose.
And even if I was dating the hottest chick in the whole world and she was just after me for my money and my stuff, I would dump her. I would get rid of her right away because I would rather lose her than lose my self-respect. I've always said that.
Especially if these guys, like, they let these women, like, suck their souls out of it.
Yep.
And it's like, what do you have left at that point?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, if you guys break up, then what are you going to do?
Mm-hmm. It's like, what are you even proving? It's like any guy can buy himself some pussy.
Yeah.
But, it's like, I don't know.
Or like a hand job, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe a toe job, maybe a toe massage.
But I don't know, dude. Like I said, I'm just like, I don't want to point fingers here, but I got a couple buddies that just like they'll go for anything that they can get. Like they'll literally screw anything that walks.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of guys out there that do that.
Mm-hmm. And I'm just like, why, man? I don't know.
You got to be careful, guys, nowadays because this world ain't no picnic.
No, dude.
Like if you're really gonna settle down with someone and be real, like. The idea, like, raising a family and all that shit, it's like 100 times more complicated than it was back in the day. So,
oh, absolutely.
I mean, just be careful with the woman you select, I guess. If you're
absolutely.
trying for anything. I mean, obviously, if you're a single guy and you just want to go out there and fuck, I mean, you got plenty of opportunities.
Oh, yeah.
But, like, if you're trying to get something serious, make sure,
That's the thing. You gotta if you want to be that guy who lives in his mom's basement when he's 40 and just watch YouTube videos all the time. If that's what you aspire to be in life, nobody can tell you what to do in life. If that's what you aspire to be in life, that's what you want to be in life. But you can't expect to have. My point is, you can't expect to have all these nice things and not put in some work for it. You know what I mean? It's like if you want to have this nice house, this nice family, and all these nice things, you got to put in work for it. If you just want to be the guy who's just known. If you want to be known as the guy who goes everywhere in his pajamas and lives in his car and stuff like that, then you don't have to work hard at all. Because, if that's what you want to be, that's what you want to be. So I'm just saying you got to be willing to put in the work for what you want to transpire to.
I saw this disgusting post on Facebook the other day, and this guy was like 45 years old, and he was like, getting Starbies with the wifey. Hashtag
Starbies. Never heard that in my life. I gotta be honest. Starbies.
Oh. And then hashtag couples.
Oh, man.
Hashtag spending time together.
Dude, that's another thing that...
Oh, it's just like, oh my God.
I'm sorry. I love coffee as much as the next guy, but we need to cut down some Starbucks.
Yeah, I love coffee. Bring your wife to Starbucks, get her a coffee. Yeah. You don't need to post on social media.
Right.
Starbies.
Exactly.
With the wifey.
It's at this point where Starbucks isn't even like a coffee shop anymore. It's more like a club now.
It's like if you're walking around with a Starbucks, which is you could just make coffee at your house and pour it in.
Exactly.
You don't need to go it's all status. It's all a status thing
I gotta go get my mochaccino from Starbucks.
I need my whip latte.
I need my caramel cream frappe. I'm not very. I don't know. I just drink traditional coffee. I don't do all that bullshit.
There was this other girl on Twitter that was like, "Don't even talk to me until I've had my frappuccino."
Oh my God.
Oh, don't even talk to me ever.
Yeah. Oh my God. It's like I heard this this couple was fighting one time. She's like, if you don't get me my Starbucks, I will never talk to you again. And he said, that's all it takes. And he literally just came back with, that's all it takes.
I'd be like, okay, well, yeah, that'll never happen again. Then.
No,
I was looking to save money anyways.
Heck yeah, man.
I mean, oh my God, like this fucking. Everyone has to post all this shit. Like, look how happy I am in my relationship.
And it's like,
well, how happy are you really if you want to post it online?
And it's like, I don't know. Starbucks is really, it's Starbucks in particular. It's like if you ever see somebody walking around with anything else, you're just like, oh, okay. But automatically, when you see somebody walking around Starbucks, at least me, I'm instantly a little more annoyed with them. Yeah. If I just see them just walking around with a big bag of Starbucks, just like looking at everybody like, hey, I got my Starbucks. Fuck you.
Look at me. What did you get? Dunkin' Donuts?
Yeah. What did you?
It's like.
Dunkin' Donuts has shitty donuts. They have great coffee, though.
Shit, yeah, true.
In my opinion.
I mean, I don't drink coffee anymore, man.
I mean, I'll get a coffee at a coffee shop, but usually I just make my own.
I mean, I don't know why you're a 35-year-old man driving through a Dunkin' Donuts getting a donut in the morning. You're not a child. You don't eat donuts.
Right.
Just get to work.
Yeah, exactly. Just a coffee and a go.
Yeah, like why are you wasting more money and time just going through Dunkin' Donuts? I'm 35 years old, but I'm a child, and I need I need an extra powdered donut.
Exactly, but I can definitely get when people say I need my coffee, because for a little bit.
But make it at home.
Yeah,
like, why
exactly.
You gotta fucking
exactly. That's
drive all over the place and be late for
what I'm
work.
saying.
You know,
like, drive 45 minutes to get a coffee when you literally could have just made one at home for like.
You could have had it. You could just buy a thing at the grocery store that's cold brew coffee. Keep it in your fridge.
Exactly.
Pour yourself a little cup every morning when you wake up, and then go to work. You don't need to go 10 hours out of your way to fucking Starbucks.
It's weird, man, because I have weird addictions
to make
like
it look
that.
like you're cool.
Like one of my big addictions with weed, for instance.
Sure.
It's kind of like, I don't know. I don't have to smoke weed every day, but it has to be here. You know what I mean? Like if it's, I'd rather be able to smoke. Like I'd rather not smoke for like 2 weeks and have it here than be able to smoke every day but have to rely on it for somebody else. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like I don't know. That's just my kind of weird thing about it. I don't have to do it. I just have to know it's here. Cause I don't know. I'm
the same way with sometimes, you know, when I used to drink, I don't drink anymore. But when I used to drink, if I had beer in the fridge, it was nice to know they were there. You know.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, and that's just like, it's like a mind over matter thing. You know, it's like I just think you just have to feel like you have access to it in case you need it.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, it's like a TV in your basement that you never use. It's like we never use it, but if it's shattered, you're obviously going to be like, well, I'm pissed off it's shattered in case we ever want to use it. You know, so it's just one of those things. It's very much like so some people say I'm like addicted to marijuana, so it's like a psychoactive thing, you know.
Sure.
I don't have to do it, but I just have to know it's there. Like if I don't know if I don't do it and there's none here, guess what? I'm going to take my ass up to Michigan and go get some.
It's one of those things where you get into a daily habit where this is what I do. This is what makes me happy. This is my daily routine. And, you know, sometimes it involves a plant that I smoke. I don't think that's a huge deal. I mean, not that I do it. I mean,
Right. Well, and that's just the thing,
I used to.
It's absolutely ridiculous that I believe, and I'm sorry if there are people that are listening that feel otherwise, but I believe that it's ridiculous that weed is still being criminalized some places. It really is. Because it's like...
Yeah.
Weed is not like an opioid or something like that. It is not something that was made by, you know, it's not something that you had to make. It's something that was already here. Like, I'm not saying you don't have to, like, modify it, make it so you can sell it and stuff.
Well,
marijuana.
the Monsanto might be modifying it, but yeah, exactly. You can live out in Portland, Oregon, and all drugs are recreational.
Yeah.
You can go buy meth and do it legally.
Yeah.
And then join the riots on the street.
So it's like, it's like we got a place like that wants to legalize every drug. Like they want to do that nationwide. They want to legalize every single drug. So all the parents out there can worry about their kids going to 7-Eleven and buying meth or anywhere and buying some cocaine or some speed or whatever.
I heard 7-Eleven has the best meth vapes.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
In Oregon?
It's cherry flavored.
Oh my gosh.
And you have to be 14 to buy it.
So it's ridiculous.
I'm kidding.
Right. But
it's just ridiculous. Like
it's ridiculous that we have states like that, but then we have a state like Wisconsin that's still criminalizing marijuana. So, a plant.
Yeah.
You know, something should not be illegal that was here before us. It was here long before we were.
It was grown in the ground.
Yeah.
What do we have to do with that? How's that our fault?
Exactly. It's like
somehow
that's like making grass illegal.
Yeah, you might as well make pine cones illegal.
Exactly.
Too.
You might as well make pine cones. You might as well make tumbleweeds illegal. You might as well make hay. You might as well make anything illegal that was here before we go. You might as well make water illegal.
You might as well shove a pine cone up your ass.
That's what fucking people around here need to do. People are saying, "Oh, right, marijuana."
Some people walk around like they have one in there already.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I don't know. Maybe we need hashtag take the pine cone out your ass. Because it's got very good gripping capabilities. You know, if you have it in there like upside down, and it'll just pull all the shit out of your ass. And you will take the best shit of your life if you just get that pine cone right out of your ass.
Yeah.
You got to do it. You got to do it one day. Just take it off like a Band-Aid. Just pull it up.
Just say to someone, just do yourself a favor. When people fuck you in the ass, use some lube. Like I never did. No.
Well, if you're one of those people that need to take the pine cone out of your ass, don't use any lube because then it's going to be more powerful.
Hey, but it could have just been a miniature tree that you ate, and you could have just shit it out looking like a pine cone. That's
maybe
brown.
you ate a seed and it grew in your belly.
Yeah.
And then you had a whole tree in your large intestine.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. I don't know.
You never know.
You never know, man.
There could be a whole watermelon down there.
That's literally the quote of the world today. You never know. That's like the most powerful quote I can think about the world today.
Right.
Is that heaven? You never know. Or it wouldn't surprise me. That's even more powerful.
Or it is what it is.
That's
and I hate it, but sometimes it really is what it is. Like,
dude, that's literally.
I hate when people say it that aren't funny, but like it really is what it is. Like,
that's literally. I say that about everything though.
Yeah.
Like I'll be at a restaurant. I'll be like, oh, they didn't put butter on my toast. It is what it is.
When you're at like Perkins and you order a couple toasts.
Yeah.
And they don't put the fucking butter. I mean, what good is toast without butter?
I know,
exactly.
That's
why would you eat
like a cake? It's like a cake without frosting. It's just a kick in the nuts.
Like all you're eating is just a slice of what, Wonder Bread?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, yeah, that's really... I need that right away in the morning. That's just going to convert into sugar.
Exactly. Yeah. Some people actually do. Some people, but then again, there are those people that just have to be different. That will eat stuff like that. They'll say, no, I like my toast dry. Stuff like that.
I don't know, man. I don't get it. Like, in the morning, I just have an egg and maybe a little bit of bacon. I'm good. Like, I don't need toast. I don't need waffles with extra maple syrup. I'm not a child. I don't eat that kind of stuff.
Nah, dude.
Like, that's just sugar.
Tell you what gets me. Tell you what I do in the morning. I get myself a cup of coffee, go wake and bake. I'm good for a couple hours. Well, it depends on unless I have to go to work, then it's just coffee.
Yeah, I don't need French toast sticks.
No.
I'm not a child. I'm 32 years old. I don't need French toast sticks in the morning.
And I don't need my caramel frappuccino with cocoa sprinkles on top.
I need to dunk my French toast sticks into my frappuccino, and then I put sprinkles on top. Hashtag good morning.
Oh my god!
Give me a break.
Can you imagine being the guy whose wife is like that? Yeah, that's my wife. If she doesn't dip her French toast sticks into her frappuccino, she'll fucking rage. So don't talk to her until she's had her French toast and frappuccino. God damn it!
I need my Starbucks. Otherwise, I can't be myself.
Yeah.
Hashtag
frappy. I don't know. Hashtag frappy happy. Hashtag frappy makes me happy.
Hashtag live your best life.
That's, dude, you just every time you put something, just hashtag living my best life.
Yeah. Hashtag stay classy.
Yeah, exactly.
Or whatever. It's like, okay, who bought you that coffee? Let's be honest.
Right, exactly.
Was that from your sugar daddy?
I see what you did there.
Or your...
put sugar in the coffee?
Was that from your fans?
I don't know, dude. It's just like I said.
What if you made... Like, these girls are like, watch me start my day. It's like, watch me get ready. By the time you finish with all these fucking videos that they put, it's just nonstop every day of their life putting out videos. It's like, what, are these guys jerking off to this or what? Like,
yeah, it's like and there will be people who have that daily routine where they have to get their coffee every day, but then they'll have to take a Snapchat or an Instagram of it every single time.
Yeah, I'm sure it needs to be documented every time. Every time I get coffee, it's look at me.
That's another thing, dude. Social media is just becoming too much these days. It's like It's like when a pilot could be saving a plane from going down into an ocean, and and he'll have like his co-pilot or somebody record it,
that Chinese air balloon. Let me watch me before I shoot it down.
Yeah,
it's like, why would you take out your smart if you're about to shoot down something that you think is hazardous to America? If you're an American pilot and you're but
you still had time to
we should probably if you think it's really a threat, why would you take the time to take out your smartphone out of your pocket and fucking film? Why do they even have those on the plane?
Right.
Why do you need your smartphone? We're on a fucking plane trying to shoot down. We're on a mission. Like, what are you doing?
Exactly, dude.
It's just such a fucking
It's all
joke.
sorts of fucked up, man. It's just...
it's so dumb.
It really is. It's like I said, it's just getting to the point where it's like everything, you know. It's like watch as this. There'll literally be a thumbnail. Watch on YouTube. Watch as this pilot saves the whole aircraft while drinking a coffee or something. You know,
it's all fake. You know, it's entertaining to watch. I get it, but I guess like that's their way of kind of easily graduating us into war. But, you know, it's like, okay, we get it. You know, you don't need to make it like... At least make it kind of funny.
Right.
You know? Like, I guess that's what they're trying to do. Like, oh, we're going to put popcorn in a pan and put Mountain Dew in it. And it's going to be green popcorn. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
And it's got like 1 million views on TikTok. It's like, why does that even matter? Who cares?
And, you know, it's getting to the point now... It's getting to the point nowadays where people are literally, like... posting shits that they took in their toilet. It's like, because I totally want to I totally just hopped on Instagram really quick to see your pile of shit in your toilet.
Oh, yeah, I saw that on Shit Talk.
Oh.
Yeah, I saw that. That was trending. It had 2 million views. It was called Grandma's Shit on a Monday morning.
Oh, my God.
And they said it was at 8:30 in the morning.
These people have too much fucking time on their hands.
A lot of people paid to watch it.
Yeah, I know. Those people have too much time on their hands, too. No, I'm kidding.
If you think about it, we're all paying for everything. Because if you're watching something like... Even if these apps are free, you're watching the ads because you have no choice.
My motto is nothing is ever free. Nothing. I mean, even if, like, you got, like, a free drink, somebody had to make money in making that alcohol.
Right.
You know, or they're nothing in this world is ever just free. It's never just free without a catch. Like, nope, free. We didn't have to, there was no money that went into it. It's just totally free.
Oh, yeah, I heard about that story, that thing you said on TikTok about how you went to that bar where you gave him one star on Yelp and you said, worst rum and Coke I've ever had.
Yeah.
Then they put a sign in front of their bar and they said, voted the worst rum and Coke by one star Yelp reviewer.
Let's be honest, man. How do you unless you're making it strong, like incredibly strong, it's pretty hard to mess up a rum and Coke.
It's 1 part rum, 1 part Coke.
Exactly.
You put a couple shots of rum, and then you fill the rest up. Well, you fill the glass up with ice, and then you put 2 shots of rum in there, and then you fill it up with Coke.
Honestly, dude, with a lot of people today, I would not be surprised if you asked for a rum and Coke, and there'd be a bartender that would say, "Oh, okay, what goes in that?" I literally just told you.
I mean, if you literally have the ingredients in the description of what you ordered, there's no excuse.
I have the rum and the Coke, but I don't have the
You just have
I'll take a rum and Coke.
Basic. I guess, like, these people that are fucking up the drinks, they're kind of... I feel like the best bartenders are actually alcoholics because they know how to make a drink.
Oh, yeah.
So, you know...
Yeah, for sure.
I hate to say it, it's a stereotype that alcoholics...
No, dude, I actually totally agree with you.
I don't know, man. Like, if you are a connoisseur, at least you've drank and you know how to make a good drink.
That's actually proven because...
You want to hire that person that knows how to make a good drink.
There was this... There was like this terrible bartender I had, and I just happened to be talking. I got into a little conversation with her, not about that she was a bad bartender, because I'm usually a pretty nice guy about that. Like, if you're like really, really, really terrible, like you see me right there with money or an empty cup, and you don't like say, "Can I get you another one?" But I could tell she was trying her best. You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
it's all about the intent. If they're a complete asshole, dude.
Yeah. And she said, well, I really don't drink alcohol much, and I was kind of thinking, well, that probably has to do with it. A lot of what has to do with it. It's like how can you work at a marijuana dispensary but never have smoked weed in your whole life?
Right. Because you gotta know how it affects you.
Right. You gotta know the different strands.
If you're gonna recommend how something affects somebody, you better have done it yourself.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're full of shit.
You gotta know about what you're selling.
Yeah,
you know, it's like a moonshiner selling you moonshine, but say they don't drink moonshine. Like, then how do you know how to, It's like they've been doing it for a long time, so they know what goes into it. They know what to add, how much to add, and what not to add. So,
how's your booger game been lately?
My what?
Your booger game. You ever, because I feel like my booger, like I've had some big ones. Like I did a Farmer John last night. And like when you do a Farmer John, you just blow it out. Like, it hit the ground and I felt it made a huge noise, and I was like, it was dark but I couldn't see it, and I was like, tomorrow I'm gonna come back and this will be a nice thing to see. And
just the other day, I was in the
Yeah.
shower and I couldn't breathe out either one of my nostrils, and I was like, "What the fuck?" And I was like, I was washing my face and I touched my nose and I could feel there was something big and crusty in there, and I did a farmer blow, and dude, it literally looked like I blew two tiny sea urchins out. I was like, but I kid you not, after I did that, I literally felt like my nose was cleansed.
dude, that must have been so satisfying.
It was, dude. Isn't that the most satisfying
Yeah.
thing? Like, you
Yeah,
know,
getting a huge.
nobody wants to admit it because it's gross, but there's nothing more satisfying than getting a huge booger out.
Oh yeah, they were popping a big pimple. or
Popping a big pimple,
pulling a big hair out of your face or something.
Yep. Something else that's really satisfying is when I go to wash out my marijuana pipe.
Oh yeah.
And I just see a big chunk of burnt bud just go.
Yeah,
up.
yeah. I've done the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, I just broke my marijuana pipe, so I gotta use my other one.
Oh yeah.
that glass one. I knew it was gonna happen eventually, but yeah.
Your dog is just totally zen right now.
Dude, I get her stoned every night. She is a stoner dog, dude. She's always stoned.
Damn.
Yeah, I do that for her though because I know a lot of people would probably hear that and they'd probably say, "Well, why are you doing that?" It's because she's getting older, and it puts a lot of it helps her fall asleep a lot easier because she gets menopause and stuff where she can't fall asleep.
Oh
easily,
yeah.
You know, so
yeah.
it knocks her out. Like otherwise, if I don't give that to her, sometimes she'll be up panting half the night.
Sure.
You know, so
Yeah.
some people will be like, "Oh, you shouldn't be giving your dog that." I'm like, "Really? Look at her. She's freaking chill as a cucumber."
I mean, if anything, it helps her relax. You know.
Exactly. And she's old now. You know,
Sure.
Her hips aren't bugging her, but you can't tell me she doesn't get joint pain once in a while, like every old thing does. So
Yeah.
you know that probably just takes the edge off a little for her.
Sure.
So
Nothing wrong with that.
no, man.
If anything, it helps maybe.
It does.
So
It gets to the point now where she sees me take out the bag of edibles. She actually just waits by my feet for hers. And no, I don't give her a full one. I just give her a little piece of one, but still, because she's a 25-pound dog, so I can't give her too much.
yeah.
But yeah,
I mean, I don't know the whole science on like how that affects humans and dogs.
I really don't think there's. I
But
don't know, dude. I don't think that we used to have thousands of years of cannabis experience because it's been here for so long. So
Sure.
and nobody. It's been proven that cannabis is never. Like, I'm not saying you should get super duper high and then go drive on an icy road. Yeah, that's a bad idea. You know, but you can't overdose on marijuana. It's been proven you can't. Like, the worst case scenario, you'll just pass out and fall asleep.
Yeah.
You know, so some people saying, like, some people, to kind of go back to the marijuana topic a little bit, some people say, like, oh, it's a gateway drug, it can kill you. It's like, yeah, if you don't use it correctly, if you don't use something correctly, anything can kill you. You know,
Right.
I don't want to say anything can kill you, but, you know, too much of anything isn't good, obviously. But, you know,
Yeah, I mean, if your body is not pH balanced and
it's
you're-
bullshit because it's robbed a lot of people of getting some good jobs because they couldn't get the job because all they do is smoke some marijuana at night. You know, because
Right.
drug testing and stuff, because they still consider that as a drug here. So I don't know, dude. I could go on all night about marijuana and
Yeah.
sports and all the stuff we've covered. I could go on all night.
I think we
about
pretty
all
much covered every bait. Any closing statements you want to say, or?
Well, I mean, not really. What do you got?
Well, it's been good talking to A-ARON.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's definitely been a good conversation, and I definitely want to pick up on maybe a few. I definitely want to come back on and maybe discuss some more topics.
We have you on 3 episodes now, I think.
Yeah, I believe so.
So yeah, it's A-ARON. Subscribe to his OnlyFans and his MySpace.
Yes.
Thank you for listening. It's Novelty signing off. Peace and love.
See you later, everybody.
Peace and love.